Welcome to the BBB Insider. I'm Terene Chatfield, and today's show is all about auto sales, insurance, and scams in the automotive industry. Our guests today are Butch Spencer from Bob Rosburg and GMC Mercedes-Benz. Along with him is John Zimmerman from Buckner and Associates Incorporated. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Welcome.
Our host is none other than the BBB President and CEO, John North. Hey, John.
And you thought you'd be a little rusty.
Well, it's been a while.
For those of you that haven't noticed, Terene is no longer with child.
Right.
She now has another bouncing
hold
baby boy.
Yes.
At home.
Yes.
So, and everything's going well? You transitioned well?
It's a little shaky. The third one, school's back in, so we're trying to get adjusted, but we're getting there.
All right, great. Well, it was quite an adjustment for us at the office. Those
I know.
6 weeks that you were gone as well.
I have to retrain everyone.
That's right. That substitute that you sent
did
an amazing job, of course, but it just wasn't you.
Well, it's nothing like the real thing.
That's right. Well, we're glad to be back on the air with the BBB Insider. Those of you that watch us know that your Better Business Bureau is the resource in the community so that individuals can turn to make sure that they're entering into a trustworthy and ethical marketplace. We try and make sure that those interactions between businesses and consumers are filled with trust, and we're a resource for consumers in our area to make sure that they can act with confidence in entering into a relationship. We help people choose trustworthy businesses. We have business reviews that are evolving. They've evolved significantly over the last year with a wealth of information on bbb.org so that you can check things out and you can see about a business's interaction in this community, how they handle complaints, and you also can get a snapshot of some of the work or some of the products that they offer on the new business reviews. We're excited to be here today with our guests. Our first guest that we have here today is Butch Spencer, and Butch is from Bob Rosburg, who is last year's torch winner for your Better Business Bureau for the community involvement that you and your organization, Janelle, and the family have shown to the Dayton area for the 30-plus years that
37 years, I believe.
Okay, all right, it's awesome. Well, we appreciate all that you do for this community and appreciate you being here today. It was great of Janelle to send you down our way to handle this particular spot. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the history of Bob Rosburg?
Oh, a little bit about myself would take about 5 seconds, so we'll go right into the dealership.
All right, sounds good.
Mr. Ross acquired his first dealership in Richmond, Indiana in 1974. Operated that store for approximately 5 years, and then in 1979, Davis Buick, which was in Centerville, he purchased Davis Buick. Operated the dealership until he unfortunately passed in 1997, and then Janelle, at the very young age, I believe, of 26, took over. And she has absolutely got her arms around it, ran with it. She's very compassionate about the store because it's her father's legacy. And then, as most everyone knows, last year she lost her mother. So it's her, and she's operating it, and we're right there with her. The store, you know, what's really ironic is I was looking at the personnel, the employees, and I've been in the automobile business for 36 years. I know I don't look that old, but I have been. Anyway, I was looking at the roster, and I come to realize that over the last 5 years, we've had approximately 8 to 10 employees retire from Bob Ross, which is really unheard of in the car business. Then I started looking at the tenure of the employees. Our average employee has been at the dealership for 15 years. So that in itself tells you what type of operation she has and how she handles it.
She's got great support from you. We've had an opportunity to see the two of you interact, and you can tell that you've got a great working relationship.
We've got a great working relationship. At least I like to think so. I hope she feels that way.
I think so. You operate a full-service car dealership, or actually multiple. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the inner workings of what does it mean to be a full-service dealership?
You've heard the old term one-stop shopping, whatever. What we pride ourselves on is obviously we handle sales, new and pre-owned vehicles, Buick, GMC, Mercedes-Benz, and soon to be Fiat. Wow. We've got the Fiat franchise. And we're very proud of that and excited. Anyway, we also handle certified pre-owned vehicles. But accompanying that, we also have 2 full line service departments, one for the GM store and one for the Mercedes-Benz store. 2 full line parts departments, again for GM and Mercedes, and a body shop that handles both. Point being that if one of our customers or future customers purchase a vehicle from us, we can service, maintain the vehicle for them. If something unfortunate happens, as far as damage, we can take care of that. We also have a full line of accessories for their vehicles when they want to personalize the vehicles. Customer comes in, wants to purchase a vehicle, we can help them with the financing of it. We can protect their vehicle with extended service contracts, insurances, just a multitude of things. Anything and everything that you can possibly think about, we handle.
All right, great. Well, you were talking about some of those new customers, and now other than picking up the phone and calling you or stopping down to Bob Ross, what are some general tips that you might have for someone that's looking to purchase a new vehicle?
First thing I would probably suggest to anyone, you know, a pre-owned buyer is a little different than a new vehicle buyer, obviously. From the car side of the fence, you might say, from my side, when it comes to pre-owned sales, it's not like there's a multitude of those vehicles to choose from. I mean, if you find a particular vehicle that's a particular color and mileage, you know, it's almost one of a kind type vehicle. Where on the new car side of the fence, you know, you have multiples, okay? What I would recommend to customers, and we see it all the time, is it comes down to how much is the car or how much the payment is. And really that's the wrong thing to look at. You need to really research the vehicle, find out what your true wants and needs are. I'll give you a perfect example. I had a gentleman in not too long ago, and he was looking at a vehicle. It was a little of a sporty vehicle. And I said, is this going to be your primary vehicle? And he said, sure. So as I was talking with him, I found out he was married and had 3 kids. And I said, how are the kids going to fit in the car? He had no clue. Obviously, he didn't buy that car, you know. But you got to help them along, if you will. Find out what their wants and needs are. And you know, what are your wants? Other than price or payment, is it style? Is it safety? You know, is it fuel economy? What is it? You know, because I'm going to tell you, in today's market, the quality of the vehicles are unsurpassed. I mean, you know, all vehicles really have top quality. You can't survive in today's market without a quality vehicle to sell.
That's right. That's great. Butch says the primary thing should not be the price or the monthly payment of the vehicle. You and I on our way over to the Mercedes dealership.
That's right. We're going.
We don't even want to
talk
about.
Not an issue.
We don't even want to talk about that monthly payment. We want to talk about safety.
That's
and
right.
all those other things.
Style.
That's right. And then we'll get sticker shock,
Right.
Now,
Actually,
let me
once
correct you, John. I didn't say the primary reason should be
Right.
price.
Exactly.
Obviously, that's going to enter in, but safety, styling, and all that is very important.
Right.
Okay. All right. Great. You know, there's scams in every industry.
Not in the car business.
So, well, you know what? I bet if you dig deep enough, you'll be able to tell us about some of the scams that you're aware of. And, you know, let's just talk about the fact that a lot of car dealerships don't do things necessarily the way that they should be done. And what are some of the things that you see there, people that are operating less than ethically?
Well, wow. Unfortunately, the car business, you know, car salesmen have been tagged as not being totally ethical about things. And I've got to tell you, in today's world, with all the consumer laws that are out there, consumers are more protected now than they have ever been. What we're required to do as a new vehicle franchise is unbelievable. What used to be 30 years ago when I was in this business, you come in and bought a vehicle finance, that there were 5 documents to sign. There are 5 documents just to title the car now. So they do protect the consumer. If anything was unethical, it's not telling you about the vehicle, and primarily pre-owned. Now what we do is we pull Carfaxes, we pull history reports, because we have the capabilities of pulling that not only from the manufacturer but through Carfax too. We provide these to our customers. Yeah, you know, if it's an older car and it's sold as is, you know, that's what it is. But for the most part, when we sell certified pre-owned vehicles, we have a policy, we have procedures that we abide by, and we demand it. Janelle demands it. I demand it. You know, we have such a following of customers, it's unbelievable, true customers. And it's only because of the way we've treated them. Mr. Ross used to say one thing. He said, let's sell cars, have some fun, but take care of my customers. He always said that. And you know, you have to do that. As far as scams, you know, there's really, I wouldn't classify it or term it as a scam, if you will, especially from our side of the fence and selling an automobile and delivering it or whatever. But what I have seen, and we tell our customers, is after you buy an automobile, it becomes public knowledge. When you title and register that car, there's companies out there that can pull that information and they know who you are. So, John, you've just bought a car from me, and I say, hey, how long are you going to keep this car?
Did I get a good deal?
You got a great deal.
All right, good.
And by the way, a good deal is nothing more than a state of mind, so just remember that.
Right.
Anyway, and I said, how long you plan on keeping this car? And you said, till the wheels fall off, which is not true, so you've already told me a lie, but
right.
That's okay. Anyway, I say, do you want to protect this investment? Because buying a new vehicle is usually the second biggest investment you're going to make in your life. Home is one, new cars too. And I said, well, we have an extended service plan, you know, once the warranty is over, that can help protect that investment. And John, I said, now this warranty is through the manufacturer, and it's going to cost you $800. You're like, oh, I can't handle another $800. It's okay, that's not a problem. So off you go. Well, 3 or 4 weeks from now, you start getting mail from ABC warranty companies saying, hey, I can sell you the same warranty for $150. They can't. And they're usually their home offices are far away. So you call me up and say, hey, how can they sell it to me $150 and yours is $800? I said, pick the phone up, pick the phone up and call them, ask them one question. Tell me 2 dealerships in the area where I live that honor this warranty. And you know what'll happen? They'll hang up.
Right.
You send them $150. Are you going to drive 1,000 miles to get your $150 back? And if they get 1,000 people to do that, you know, and it's not just with extended warranty, it's anything to protect you with the purchase of that vehicle. So if there is such a thing as a scam, I would caution people about that. Not necessarily from the dealership level, but after the fact.
Yeah, in fact, your Better Business Bureau in St. Louis was part of an investigation with the Missouri State Attorney General's office there, a company that was doing exactly what you said and making promises that they had no intentions of fulfilling.
Exactly.
And the guy had a big 22-bedroom, you know, hundreds of $million-dollar home that he was
Amazing,
building. Yeah, and I think one of the television stations, national television stations, did a program highlighting some of that stuff. So yeah, that's a good one to keep people in mind, because
it's usually after the sale that you run into issues like this.
Yeah. As we said.